comment, and subscribe.
Let's talk Jinx. A weekly Jinx video we do every Wednesday about anything to do with Jinx, as well as this video acting as the weekly discussion thread on the Jinx subreddit, our League of Jinx. Make sure to go check that out. Every 2 weeks we talk about the new patch when it hits, changes to Jinx, other AD carries, and then something of a pseudo AD carry tier list to round the video out. And while there are no changes to Jinx on this patch, there was a change to Aphelios. His passive lethality is being increased, the Arcalibrum additional mark damage is increased, the Severum heal is increased, the Gravitum root duration is increased, the Infernal splash damage ratio increased, the Crescendum additional Chakrams returned increased. Now, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really hate Aphelios like everyone else, I guess, does. At the same time, I feel like when you're buffing a champion, and it feels like I'm reading an entry to an essay on just how much is being buffed, and similarly when he was nerfed, there's just too much going on. I'm sorry. I will be part of that train. I don't think Aphelios is like the worst. I'm not gonna, dog on Riot and the people that designed him and stuff like that, but my goodness, that's just a lot of stuff that I'm not sure how exactly to break down for the Jinx lane matchup, because how this affect Jinx. Aphelios is being buffed, basically. We aren't seeing Aphelios in the world stage, so I think it's good for him to kind of buff him up, basically, even though we've seen him like all year long. Sure thing. One thing to note is that the way his kit works is he levels up lethality, attack speed, and attack damage more so than abilities in his kit. So what this could mean for the lane matchup is if he's going for a lethality build or just having more lethality in his attacks, that could be a little bit risky in the early game, because Jinx and most AD carries, even though they scale up some armor, it's not going to be that much in the laning phase. They're overall relatively squishy. This really isn't a Jinx specific thing to worry about. This is any AD carry specific thing to worry about if for some reason this makes them dip into the lethality side of things more often than not. His R, which isn't going to be an issue till level 6, so pre-6 with Jinx, however you deal with Aphelios right now, will still be pretty alright, but post-6, all of his R on all of his guns does more things. The root's up more, the damage is done more, the heal is up more if he's trading with you, so be aware of that. Corki, just a quick mention, the Q bonus damage ratio is increased. Most likely if a Corki's in your game and you're going against one, he's in the mid lane, not the bottom lane. So as Jinx, you probably will not have to worry about this literally ever. But just in case people still, start feeling ambitious, Trinity Force, AD carry Corki, there you go. Karma, actually. The mantra cooldown refund for abilities has been increased later. The mantra cooldown refund for basic attacks now flat, or cooldown decreased. I think this is more for lane Karma, but in case people play support Karma, just be aware that the cooldown refund for abilities looks like it is going up, and the mantra cooldown refund for all basic attacks is now just 1 at all ranks, so it's not going to be going 1, 1.5, and 2, while the R mantra cooldown is also going down actually by a few seconds at all ranks. So if they're going to harass you with that ability in lane, support Karmas can be, the RQ combo and stuff, keep that in mind. That could be something that might be potentially problemsome. For Samira, the E cooldown is being increased and the attack speed is being decreased. They had a space in their early game, they say, where the early game safety and mobility is a touch too reliable. So we're bumping up her cooldown in a way that she has to play more conservatively in the first stages of the game. We're also trimming some of her damage so that all of her all-ins are a little less potent. But she's still going to be Samira, and you're still going to be Jinx. So in other words, play it safe, aim for scaling. I would say aim for farming and scaling the lane phase and relying on a support that's pretty good, instead of trying to body Samira, because it's not. These nerfs aren't going to be that devastating to this champion with all the tools that they have to be devastating with. And that is actually all for the AD carry changes. Again, there's no changes to Jinx. There's a change to Nimbus Cloak. If you're someone that dips into that on Jinx, Nimbus Cloak popularity has begun to stifle the rune choices, especially in jungle. This is more of a jungle change specifically, but in case you go into sorcery and you take Nimbus Cloak for any reason, its power is being weakened on a specific target with a synergy with Smite. So just keep that in line too. There's some, ARAM balance changes, some Earth balance changes, some quality of life stuff, and none of these bug fixes are for Jinx, if I recall correctly. One thing I'll just throw in as a bonus, Worlds stage, the Worlds is going on right now. Group stage is over. Make sure to do your pick'ems for the quarterfinals before that runs out of time. When this video is going up, I believe Worlds will be in a few hours. So, a quick note about that. But yes, something of an AD carry tier list. Samira is not really falling off with these changes. We talked about some support changes. Corki's obviously not going to really be a thing. Aphelios being the one real main AD carry that's getting some enough changes to maybe matter, in which case, if you thought he was already strong, he's gonna probably be stronger. If you didn't think he was all that good, these changes might buff him into the good territory, but right now I feel like people are playing more of things like the Ashe, the Senna even, especially if you go to pro play, things like that. Caitlyn's still kind of a thing right now, so those are kind of more of the AD carries you'll probably be picking over Aphelios. Jinx is still a very reliable AD carry right now, especially for games if you're noticing a pattern that they're going long, so lean into that as well. AD carries you might want to ban when you're playing as Jinx. I personally, and this is just my opinion at this point, so this is not really tier list in terms of like factual, this is just me personally. Twitch is actually one of my go-to bans if I'm playing Jinx. At the moment, he does seem like he's low-key pretty powerful, and historically, even though not always, he has been a lane counter to Jinx, something you would pick into Jinx for the scaling, but then with his cast and stuff, he can slow Jinx and make it really hard to deal with him in the laning phase. His ultimate range and things like that means even at turret, you're not necessarily safe, and his stealth and stuff can be a little bit of a problem as well. I'm trying not to put my opinion too much in this because I have been playing on the PvE where there's blurred lines with the new items and stuff like that. But you know, like a Twitch with even a Veigar, right, which seems like pretty off meta. He throws the cage around you, you don't get out of it. Twitch throws the cast in the middle of it, and you just stew in that poison for a bit. That would be my like low-key under the radar as a Jinx player ban, if you will. Not always though. I still think things like Caitlyn and stuff and Samira deserve it more. But if those champions are already banned, like let's say the rest of your team is banning stuff, the enemy team bans stuff, and you want to look for something else to ban, that would be the one I would recommend if you know, he's still pretty powerful going into this patch. That's gonna be all for this video though. I'm not gonna make this drag on too long, because also your opinion as well. In the comment section down below, what is your opinion on what is strong? What should you be playing against as Jinx, as in what should you be letting through, as in, you know, what do you not ban because you actually want to play against it? And then what should you be banning as Jinx in your opinion? I said Twitch, maybe you think Kog'Maw, for example, is low-key pretty powerful, or just keep it on the Samira ban train. But thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell notification, the actual subscribe button. But I don't know which video will be next, because I can have a lot of kinks. So until next time, take care. GG, get jinxed. Thank you for watching, and enjoy pizza responsibly.